Okay, YouTube family, let's talk about it. It's your favorite girl. Okay, guys, so I want to talk about this whole situation that is surrounding Gail Lewis. Now, based on the messages that she uploaded, this whole situation happened back in 2022. So I'm not sure exactly why is she speaking on it now. Drop down in the comments if you guys may know something more than I know. So she released the messages of her conversation between her and her husband right before she found out the whole situation about him cheating. Just like I said in the video on yesterday that I uploaded, I feel like she already knew. You know, I'm not sure why she's coming to the internet streets to prove to you guys that she was a victim, and that's not the case. So she did upload another video on TikTok explaining the whole situation on how she met her husband and everything. Now, in this clip, now she did speak on that when she first met her husband, that she was not attracted to him. She even said that he was fat. She said actually that what she used was morbidly obese. So she was not attracted to him, but she did mention that he was a president of a company. So she knew that he was a married man. She knew that she was not attracted to him, but she was willing to deal with him anyways because he was a president of a business. Now, we all know when you're a president of, depending on the business, if it's a large business, that means 6 figures and up. So maybe she was attracted to the money. But I'm going to go ahead and drop this clip for you guys to listen to her telling you how she met her husband, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my opinion at the end.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna address this part about the start of my relationship with my husband, and I'm gonna be done, and you can say what you want to say, do what you want to do. I mean, it is what it is, and that was almost 30 years ago. But when I was introduced to him, I was told he was not married, only to find out later that he was. So I told him then that I did not deal with married men and that I didn't want to do anything to some other woman that I didn't want done to me. And I meant that, and I still hold to that. So, of course, he gave me the standard, you know, we've been having problems and all that kind of stuff. And whenever I would talk to him, I would tell him, he would try to be hitting on me, but I would knock it right down because I wasn't attracted to him. My husband was overweight, morbidly obese, actually. But he was a nice guy. But when I would talk to him, I would encourage him to stay with his wife and kids. And I thought he thought that was the oddest thing, but that's what I would do. I would encourage him because I didn't like him like that. And I was like, you're married, so this ain't going anywhere anyway. So he kept asking me like, you know, like, what if I was divorced? Because she and I having problems and all of that. And I was like, well, if that's the case, you need to get your problem handled. I said, I can't even think about ever even dating you or doing any of that because you're still married. So lo and behold, he tells me that he's going to divorce her. He started his process, and that, you know, he wanted me to be his girl and all that kind of stuff. Actually gave me some diamond earrings to let me know. He was like, this is to let you know that I'm super duper serious about this thing. So I was like, well, okay then, because during this whole time, we had no intimate relationship or any of that for like 3 months. Because actually I was calling him Al Bundy, and he didn't even know why I was calling him that, because he was like, why you always call me Al Bundy? And I was like, because you married with children and I don't mess with Al Bundys or whatever, right? So once he started his divorce proceedings, he asked me would I date him. So I did. So there may be some fault there where I started dating him before his actual divorce was final, but I made sure that he had filed divorce because that's what he told me. So we did take a trip to the Essence Music Festival the first year, and a phone call came in, and, you know, I'm assuming that it was his wife, but the way he responded to the call let me know that, you know, basically something was up and that he probably had lied to me. So when we get off the phone, I was like, I thought you filed for divorce. Like, why was that conversation going that way? He didn't really have too much to say, but he was like, well, no, I talked about it, but I was going to file. I'm still doing some reach out. I'm filing when I get back and all that kind of stuff. So, of course, I was furious because I was like, you've lied to me. Like, why would you, tell a lie like that? You know, the only reason I came with you on this trip was because you told me you had filed and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking everything kosher with them, and that I didn't have anything to do with that. Because he told me in the beginning, like, no, she and I having issues. And if I file for divorce, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. So I was like, well, okay, then. So, like I said, I wasn't attracted to him at first. But he was a really nice guy, really nice guy. He was a professional guy, was president of a company and all that kind of stuff. But I had my own thing. I was working. I was a single mom doing my own little thing. So I didn't really need him for anything. But The only thing that I'll say about that was, yeah, I did start dating him after he filed for divorce. And I think from the time I met him to the time he divorced was like a 10-month span. So those first 3 months, I didn't say anything to him, like romantically, because I was not attracted to him. And that is for real. If you see the picture of him before, you'll know why, but he was a nice guy. So I'm just saying. I'll say that, maybe me dating him before the divorce was final, was wrong. And I'll take accountability for that, but I can't go back, 30 years now and correct that. I'm just trying to move forward and do what's right. But, Miss Thing is trying to like paint this narrative like, oh, she was doing the same thing. Not the same thing at all, because my whole time I was encouraging him to stay with his people.
Undo to others that you do not want done to you. Ma'am, you just said in this clip that you knew he was a married man. You said that when you guys took that trip to the Essence Fest, that the conversation that you overheard him having with his wife did not sound like a man who filed for divorce. And although you heard that conversation, you still decided to continue to date this man knowing that he was married. You have mentioned multiple times throughout this clip that you was not attracted to him. You wanted to point out he was a big man, and that was usually not your type. But because he was a president of a large business, that was more attractive to you. You did say that you was a single mother. Although you said that, oh, I had my own thing. No, ma'am, you didn't. You didn't have your own thing going. Because if you was willing to throw away your self-worth to date a man that was already married, lied to you about filing divorce, and you was okay with it, and you wasn't physically attracted to him, make it seem like, ma'am, you was after the coins from the beginning. You said that you was with this man for almost 30 years. Trust and believe you knew this man was cheating on you throughout your marriage. I'm going to say allegedly, but this is my opinion. But I think she know with everything in her that she know this man was cheating on her because she wanted to live that luxury lifestyle. She wanted the diamonds. Like she said, he gave her a pair of diamond earrings. Come on now. That was his way of telling her, don't go nowhere. And she fell for it. She could have said, no, I don't want the earrings, but she took it. She took it. And she continued to date this man knowing that he was married. And she expect that the outcome was going to be better. Now, in that clip, she did mention multiple times that she was trying to encourage him to go back to his wife, stay with his wife. No, ma'am, you shouldn't have to encourage him. You are bait dangling in front of this man. If you really wanted him to go back to his wife, you would have removed yourself from the picture. You hung in there. And you continue to deal with that man knowing that he was married. Regardless if he filed for divorce or not, he still was a married man. Yes, you probably encouraged him to go back to his wife, but the point is he did not. And you know he did not. Y'all drop down in the comments what y'all whole take of this whole situation that is going on with Gail Lewis and her ex-husband. Stay tuned for part 2 of this whole what I think about Gail Lewis and her ex-husband and the mistress.